Hey everybody, it's Victoria Marie, and I am doing this video as a video response to Kitty Scrapper's tag, where she posted a video, and I'll post a link below, where she answered some questions and just really sort of getting to learn other scrappers that are in the YouTube community. And that's pretty fun because there's several of us out there and some of us that are new, myself included, and some that have been around for a while. And so it's good to kind of see who's out there and actually get a face with the name, because often those of us who do YouTube videos are behind the camera and or below the camera, as some of us film from above. And so it's good to kind of put a face with the name and learn more about each other. So I decided I would participate. So hey Kitty, thanks for starting this. Okay, so there are 7 questions that I will answer. The first one is when did you start your channel and start doing process videos? I've had a YouTube channel for quite a while, but I never used it. I didn't start doing process videos until fall of last year, through the urging of my spouse, who saw that I was really into YouTube channels and watching a lot of YouTube channels. And I kind of fell upon watching, or YouTube videos rather, I sort of fell upon watching scrapbook videos specifically, probably about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It could be a little bit longer. I have been scrapbooking on and off for a few years and didn't really start seriously scrapbooking until after I had my little girl, which, you know, happens for a lot of us when some life-changing event happens. You get married, have a kid, or whatever. And so I decided to start scrapbooking because I wanted to have a creative way of keeping my family mementos. But before then, I had dabbled a little bit in scrapbooking all throughout my life in some shape, form, or fashion. And so when I started watching process videos, at first I wasn't even aware that people were making videos, number one. And number two, when I started scrapbooking, I thought, hey, you know, I bet you there's all kinds of stuff on YouTube. Why not scrapbookers? And I just did a search on YouTube for scrapbooking, and lo and behold, my life has been changed ever since then. And so eventually, as I got more comfortable with honing my scrapping style and filming, I've never been shy of being in front of the camera. Can you tell that I'm shy? No. And talking to the people and reaching out to people, I wanted a way to participate in this community and share what I make, as well as learn from other people, and people learn from me. And so I really, really like that aspect of it. So I started in the fall of last year, and I've been going ever since. And I think it'll be like a year, October, I think, that I've been doing videos. And I started out not knowing what the heck I was doing. I went to Best Buy to buy a camera because I wasn't even aware that I could film on any of my portable devices like my iPad. I didn't have an iPad then, but I did have an iPhone. And I started filming with my iPhone, and that didn't work because I didn't have enough storage on it. And so some salesperson at Best Buy, who's probably like 10, 12 years my junior, sold me on a camera that actually didn't work very well for process videos. So once I got that going, I really started digging more into videoing, and I really enjoy being a part of this community. All right, so next question is, what is your scrappy style at the moment, and how has it changed? So my scrappy style at the moment is what I like to consider eclectic. I like a little bit of all of it. Sometimes I want things very clean and simple, and so I go for more simple layouts, and you may have seen evidence of this already on my scrapbook channel. Sometimes I like to be really messy with mixed media. I'm working on that. I'm not always that comfortable working with it, but I do like those types of layouts, and so I feel the more I practice, the better I'll be at it, so we'll see. I sometimes like more traditional layouts that are more clean and planned, and where the elements I like to get just so on the page. I love layering, and for those of you who've been watching my video, you know I love to layer. And yes, the layering video tutorial is coming, I promise. So I do like a variety of different styles. What I tend to lean towards that's more appeasing to my eye are designs that are a little bit more controlled. So I would tend to lean more towards simple and more traditional, and then some controlled layering. I would really like to be a messy scrapper, people who just are a little more artistic, and I'm not quite there yet. It's going to take some practice. When I first started scrapbooking, everything was very, very linear. I mean, all of the corners and the cuts and everything had to be just right, and I had to have the perfect paper, and the backgrounds had to match, and the colors had to match, and the embellishments had to be perfect. And it literally would take me sometimes 2 to 3 days to complete the layout. And so the more I start learning about techniques and I start practicing, I said, I cannot spend 2 or 3 days on one layout. I have got to be able to knock some of these things out, or else I'm never going to get an album done. And so I started modeling other scrappers and their style, and eventually kind of honed my own style. So it has changed quite a bit from the first time that I started scrapping into now. In fact, I have a video where I do an album share of my very first scrapbook. So you can go back and look at that one and kind of see where I started, my very humble beginnings, and then my scrapping stuff before then when I was in high school and junior high is just me pasting a bunch of stuff on in an album. But that's scrapbooking, right? All right, what project have you been meaning to start for a while? So my kid's 5. She turned 5 this year. And I told myself when she was born that I was going to get the baby book done. Ask me if I got the baby book done. I don't have it done. I will probably be one of those people where I'll say to someone one day, oh yeah, I'm still working on the baby book. And they'll be like, well, how old is your baby? Oh, she's 30. You know, that'll probably be me. So I have the baby book started, and I plan on finishing that this year. I've got to finish it. In fact, it's one of my top projects. When I get all settled, and we're going to be moving, well, we were supposed to move this weekend. That's a long story. People in my Facebook group know the long story. But at the end of the month now, we're going to be moving. And so once we do move, then I'll have a space all set up, and I can start knocking some of these projects out because I'll have enough room to kind of spread out and do it. But that's the project that I've been wanting to do and meaning to do for quite a while. And so I got it somewhat started, and now it's just trying to finish it. And plus, my little one's starting to ask more questions about, you know, some of her interests when she was a baby and what she liked to do. So I like to have that to refer to. All right, next question, number 4, is what collection would you save from your burning craft space? Is that what that was, Kitty? From your burning crafting space. Like, so I guess if your crafting space was like on fire, what would you save? Or what collection do you wish you still own, new or old? First of all, after I make sure that my family is secure outside, I will probably run into my burning house and save all of my scrapping supplies. You all know I'm cray cray, I'm telling you. Gosh, I don't think I have a particularly fave collection. I tend to, however, like collections that are very, how do I want to describe it? The first word that comes to mind is casual, but that's not how I want to describe it. I'll use some examples. I like Amy Tangerine. Wonderful collections, really fun, light colors, tend to coordinate very well. Maggie Holmes is another one that I absolutely enjoy. I love her collections. And I also like the graphicness of, is that a word, graphicness? Didn't learn that one in grad school. I also like Heidi Swap. And there are probably a few others that I'm thinking of, but I tend to like it all. I'm one of those scrappers. When I see it, I'm like, I'm in love with that. I want it. And so I buy it all. In fact, I'm getting ready to do a haul video on my summer buy. More on that later. So yeah, I don't think that there's anything that I would not save in a fire. Put my life at risk. And there's nothing that I wish that I still owned. Usually when I use stuff, I just use it. And then when it's done, it's done. If I really love it, I'll just buy more of it. But as you saw in my Scrappy Space tutorial, if you had a chance to watch that, I don't own a lot of paper, and that's for a reason. So yeah, I love it all. But when it's gone, and I'm okay with that. What paper in your stash do you regret buying? There's not a particular type of, well, at least manufacturer or designer. But when I first started scrapping seriously, about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I would go to the impulse aisles in Hobby Lobby and Joann's and Michael's and any other craft store. And I would buy up a whole bunch of the cheapy $1. Well, now it's $1.50 because they've gone up. Inflation. It's gone up. And then I would buy the paper pads. And they're kind of like the economy style paper pads where the paper is like really, really uber thin and they're not thick like some of the higher quality papers. I think someone else mentioned this in their video. I can't remember. Maybe it was Hannah. Hannah, was that you? Okay, maybe that was, I can't remember. So anyway, so the papers are really, really thin. And so I would buy a whole bunch of stuff that was cheap because I thought I was saving a buck and stretching the dollar. And what ended up happening is that, well, those materials didn't work all that well. And I would buy cheap adhesive and, you know, whatnot. And so finally, what I ended up having to do, of course, is let go of those things. I donated it to my kiddos' daycare at the time. And I started investing in higher quality product versus buying all the cheapy stuff. I think there's a time and a place for those things, and you can probably find, and you can find a lot of really cool things that you can use on your scrapbook layouts. But I make these scrapbooks to last. We all do. And so I'm very, very careful on what I buy. So I tend to buy a lot of really good name brand products and make that investment. And then I use it. I try to use it all. So I'm not wasting my money. So I do kind of regret in the beginning buying a lot of the cheapy stuff. But hey, when you're on a budget, and at the time I was on a budget, not to say I'm like money bags right now, but I did want to save a little bit, and I thought that was the way to go. So I won't be doing that anymore. At least not all the stuff that I buy. Okay, and then let's see. Where do you want to take your channel in the next year? Okay, so I've mentioned this a few times already. I had no expectation for anybody to be halfway interested in my videos. When I first started filming, I thought that I would get, 10 or 12 little followers, subscribers, and I was gonna be okay with that. And since then, I have, I think now almost 1,600, and which is great. And I hadn't really started paying attention to the numbers and to the viewership until earlier this year when I saw my numbers climb, and I thought, okay, people are interested. Okay, that's great. And so that's good. That's good feedback. And it's been wonderful making videos. This is certainly a hobby. But in the next year, I would like to combine my professional skills at training, because I've mentioned that I am a trainer for a nonprofit, and training and teaching and demonstrating, and combine that with my scrapbooking hobby. I do pretty frequently get asked questions, and then my friends who are scrappers ask me to show them things. And so what I decided to do before I committed to spending time to developing classes, because that does take a lot of time, is to offer tutorials on this channel. Some really quick, you look at it, you learn the skill, and then you play with it. And then classes would be an extension of that. Maybe offering a kit with the class, some other things. So I'm really trying to do some brainstorming around that. There's some technology pieces to that. I have some options, and so we'll see. So eventually I'd like to see being able to kind of spawn off into that. But as far as the channel is concerned, I do want to be able to post more frequently than I have been doing at the moment. And right now I post at least once per week, and I would like to get to at least 3 times per week between now and the next year. And then offering a more diverse palette of content that works. I just don't want to post a bunch of crap to my channel and no one would be interested. I want to post things that folks are interested in, but yet keep it new and keep it fresh. So I like where I'm at right now. I didn't even expect to have this many people and for it to have so much interest as it does, and I continue to add new subscribers, so that's phenomenal. But I think I'm going to offer a little bit more of a schedule, so it becomes more predictable. On certain days, I do certain types of process videos, and plus that'll help me out when I'm filming, and I know what I need to work on every week. So, so yeah, that's what I plan to do, is just continue more of the same, and also adding a little bit of diversity in terms of the content that's offered on the channel. Okie dokie. Who would you love to collaborate within a scrapbooking YouTube challenge? That's really hard to say specifically. I have so many people, so many scrappers that I absolutely love, and I'm pretty much open to any collaboration. Come here. It's summer break, and my kid's supposed to be in bed, but she's up. Come here. Okay, you can come sit on mommy's lap while I finish filming. Come here. There we go.
I made a picture.
Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Say, I'm supposed to be in bed.
I'm supposed to be in bed.
But I'm not with my mommy.
I'm not with my mommy.
Yeah, you are.
Mommy, I made
Okay,
this.
hold on. You made that for me? Okay, you can show me in just a second. Oh, you want to show everybody your big old gigantic picture that you made?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're supposed to be in bed. That's what... Who's this?
It's...
Can you tell everybody who that is?
That's Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, he's playing a weird face. Me, and all my favorite things I like to do.
That is awesome.
And it says my little homework journal.
Your little homework journal. That's nice. That's really nice.
And I fill it with lovely pictures.
That's very good. You're very talented. Thank you. So as I was saying, there are a lot of scrappers I would love to collaborate with. There's not one person in particular, but I am open to collaborate. Yes, I am. I am too. I am open to collaborating. So those of you who know me in this community, if you would like to collaborate on something, just give me a holler. You know, send me a message on Facebook or send me an email. I would love to collaborate. Of course, time is of the essence, so I'm definitely into planning and looking at stuff because I know that our viewers like collaborations. All right, little munchkin, I think that's it. Do you think that's it?
Nope.
Nope, what else should we talk about?
We should talk about...
Say my mommy's the best scrapbooker in the world.
Mommy's the best scrapbooker in the world.
That's right. All right, everybody. Until next time, this has been a lot of fun. Kitty, Scrapper, thank you so much for tagging all of us. I hope that those of you who are watching this and who are scrapbookers and do YouTube channels, please participate in this so we can see who you are and learn a little bit more about you and hopefully grow the community a little bit and get our kids to sleep. Go sleep. Until next time, say bye.
I think that's all I really meant to say.
What do you want to say?
Butter.
Good night.